Hey, Fiancé Freaks, I'm Sam.
I'm Emily, and this is 90 Day Fiancé Freaks. Things are getting hot and heavy this week internationally.
Yeah, they are. Everybody be getting it on.
Especially Daniel and Lisa. We're left off last episode wondering if they're going to be getting it on. Daniel sending mixed messages. First thing this week, we find out, oh yeah, they had sex that night.
But did they? Did they have like half sex? Like kind of sex? She is critical.
They had half sex. Daniel's explanation, I get that. He was nervous.
Absolutely not. Yeah, she calls it awful. She literally says it was awful. She expected more. He did not finish, and he wasn't even fully excited, shall we say. Do you think, and I'm sorry, call me out. Do you think he would have been less, quote unquote, tired, okay, if it had been a young, hot, do you think it was about her appearance? Just call a spade a spade.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, probably.
But he tried, I guess, and she was super disappointed. But then he tells her that he tried again in the morning, and that was apparently fine.
And that time it worked. I think that it's pretty normal for the first time to be awkward, to be uncomfortable. Even if the chemistry is there, even if you are attracted to the person, you can have everything exactly how it needs to be. And the first time is still awkward.
True, that's absolutely true. I can't say what she said, Emily. I can't utter the words out of my mouth that she said about her body. Can't do it.
We have to say it because it was the most iconic line in this episode. She stretched to fit him perfectly. I mean, she hasn't been with a man for 21 years. From her perspective, this is a humongous change in her life. Daniel has absolutely no idea.
Humongous, no pun intended. Because she does tell us he's very well endowed.
He's bigger than she expected. Anything is going to be that for you, Lisa. You haven't had this experience in 21 years.
True. That's a very good point. So they finally do get out of bed, thankfully for me, the viewer. And they go to the market. I love an outdoor market. You know I do.
Yes, it looks like so much fun. Lisa is immediately going over to the chicken, holding the chicken, talking about having pet chickens. Sammy, who else had a pet chicken?
Renee, what is with these American women going to these markets and then just crying over the chickens? I mean, I get it. They're not used to seeing live animals butchered in front of them, but...
No, I don't get it, Sammy. I don't. She's not a vegetarian. Renee wasn't a vegetarian. It's fine. It's an experience to buy a live animal and slaughter it, sure. But to be that level of horrified, aghast about this situation.
It's almost offensive.
It's almost offensive. I agree. Lisa's not worried about that in any way, shape, or form, though. Her chickens watch TV. Lisa is trying to integrate into the culture, but this episode just had so many examples of her struggling.
Struggling, but trying, and I will give her that. First of all, how cute does she look at the market? The bows on the back of her shirt
cute.
And the flowy white pants. I thought she was killing it. I thought she looked so cute. But she really is trying. For example, they go to buy some traditional clothing to meet his uncle. And she's getting her head wrapped. I was afraid her wig was going to fall off. Were you not?
I think she was worried about that too. She's trying. Well, and then the lady fitting her calls her fat. You are a bit fat.
Okay, I'll ask you. How did you feel about that? Lisa did not feel great about it.
It's totally understandable that she didn't feel great about it. However, I think it's another example of integrating and adapting to a different culture. They might comment on your body weight, but not in an offensive way. In fact, I think in a lot of African countries, being called fat is a compliment.
I think being curvy and voluptuous is definitely more attractive in a lot of other cultures. There was not 1 ounce of body shaming coming from that woman. That woman was not like, oh, you're fat. It was just matter of fact. Like she would call someone skinny.
You hit the nail on the head there with the cultural difference. The word fat in the United States equals
100%.
body shaming. I think the word fat in Nigeria and in this situation specifically does not equal body shaming. And Lisa has not put those two pieces together yet. So in this scene, not only does she think the lady in the textile shop thinks she's fat in a body shaming type of way, she also believes that Daniel thinks this.
Even though he immediately is like, you're not fat, you're not fat. So he seems to grasp that it's offensive.
Exactly. Daniel understands this cultural nuance and this cultural difference with a language barrier. He already understands this, and he's trying to come to Lisa's side and be supportive of her.
And I think that he, so far, again, whether or not he really feels that way, he has been very verbally affirmative about her looks and her body and being attracted to her. So I did love that he was comforting her in that moment. But again, it's just so objective. She was not trying to offend Lisa, the woman in the market. And then she calls the tailor over so she can measure her and help her get the right fit. I am telling you, Emily, oh my God, my heart. One of my favorite places in the entire world is the HLM market in Dakar, Senegal. And it is just miles of fabric and textiles and tailors and women like this calling you fat and helping you get dressed. No, they don't call you fat, but
no, they do. I hear you. They do. And if you can get over that cultural barrier, it can become an endearing experience.
It is. So you get your textiles from the market and then you take them to your local tailor, and either there is one in the market or you have one in your neighborhood. And I remember my tailor in my neighborhood was just, he was just such a nice, supportive guy. He made outfits for all of us, and we were all different shapes, all different sizes, all different styles. They do it all, and they don't care one bit. They are making all shapes and sizes, so it doesn't even faze them.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're at the market. They have this whole encounter. Next, they're going out to dinner. Before they go, though, Lisa mentions all of the things that Daniel doesn't like about her, or that he tries to control about her.
His expectations.
There we go. And it's exactly like what we've been saying, that she's not showing him her true colors, and she knows it. It's not like she thinks she's being forthcoming and completely honest with him. She knows that he's expecting so many things of her. Her hair, she has to wear the wig. She has to ask him for permission to drink a drink of alcohol. Vaping. There's already so many things that Daniel is trying to control about Lisa. It's like the tip of the iceberg.
He doesn't even know what he doesn't know. I am along for this ride. The vaping thing, was that not absolutely Michael and Angela with the cigarettes?
Oh, yes. Good call.
But I was on Michael's side because cigarettes kill you, as will vaping. But but it's just the control factor. And yeah, you're stressed. You're in a new country, new place. You got to do something. You have to have some sort of coping mechanism.
Right. To me, it's not even about the bad habit. It's about accepting someone for who they are rather than thinking that you can change things about them in order to make them the perfect partner for you.
True. If it was a little bit more like, I'm worried about your health because I don't want you to die soon because I want to spend the rest of my life growing old with you, that would be a little bit more endearing, as opposed to, this is who I want you to be this person.
And I think that was Michael's angle.
Yeah.
Smoking is bad for you. It's bad for your health. He was pointing those things out to Angela versus, right, in this situation, not that I don't necessarily believe that that is Daniel's intention. I just don't know that he's communicating it very well, especially at the dinner. He just goes into hyper control.
He flipped a switch at dinner, did he not? Who is this man? We had not seen that side of him yet.
Right. He's been so sweet, so face sucking.
Oh, stop it. They're at the restaurant. She tells us that she prepared. She researched fufu. She researched how to eat it, what it is, the cultural significance of it. I love that. Thank you, Lisa. That's amazing. Didn't do shit because he was still critical of her. How dare you see her trying her ass off? She's so proud to show you her skills, that she knows what she's doing, and all you can do is just criticize. Ball it up more. Ball it up more. I just felt like it was so demeaning to her.
I do think it came off as demeaning, but I don't really think that it was his intention to be demeaning. I think that it came from a place of genuinely wanting her to integrate into the culture. I don't think Daniel's in love with Lisa, But I do think he is serious about their
Ooh.
relationship. He wants her to integrate. He wants the approval of his uncle. He wants this relationship to work out. And part of that is Lisa learning about his culture and integrating in, wearing the clothes, asking for the approval, eating the food, trying the palm wine, even though he thinks one sip will knock her out.
It was his ass that was drunk, don't you think? I felt like he sipped a little bit too much palm wine, and that's why he got all aggressive and weird. Even his face changed. And then waving his hand in front of her face? I'm gonna wave my hand in front of your face because you're not with it. He was clearly had more palm wine than she had. And I applaud her for getting up and walking out. Oh, that was amazing.
But the reason she walked out, though, is because Daniel was trying to have her walk a line. You caught that, right? I don't think Lisa was going to get up and walk out on him. I don't think she was until Daniel said, stand up and walk away from me. What he was getting at there was walk a straight line. He was trying to prove to her, are you drunk? But you're so right. He's the one who was drunk.
He was giving her a sobriety test, like the poke.
It was a sobriety test, absolutely. And I loved Lisa's reaction to that. She's like, watch me walk.
She's like, you want to see me walk?
And then she's at the door and he's like, walk back.
Nah.
He's trying to assert himself. He's being the alpha male. But then he's like, but come back to me though. And she's like, peace out.
And then she says, if he doesn't come apologize to me, I'm getting in that car and I'm leaving. Honestly, I believed her. Good for her, because I feel like she will do anything for a relationship. I feel like that's why she's had so many in the past. And I was so excited that she stood up to him. And I feel like Faith would have been so proud of her too.
Aw, I mean, whatever. She's fucking engaged. And she still hasn't told Daniel any of her secrets.
Right? And he says in this, truth in my family is incredibly important. We always tell the truth in my family.
It reminds me of the buildup going on between Rick and Trish. Trish is like, I fully trust Rick. I'm so happy to have a faithful, trustworthy partner like Daniel. Honesty and Christianity is so important to me in my life. The very last scene of the show. Have you been practicing lesbianism?
Practicing lesbianism like it's a religion. Yes, I have. Worshipping at the altar of the V. Could we have gotten 2 trikes for Forrest and Sheena? Is that too much to ask? Followed each other like caravan style? They each needed their own trike.
No way. They're so cute in that one trike. It's so cute. They're getting all cuddly and close.
He did say he liked having to be shoved up that close to Sheena, so that was pretty cute. But yeah, so they get on the trike, the singular trike for the both of them, and they go to finally see Sheena's family. How satisfying when we've been waiting for this all season.
We have literally been waiting all season, hearing so many things about Sheena's family. We meet Sheena's dad, Steve, and her sister, Katrina. We don't meet the mom because she's sick, but we still get a really good feel for who they are just from these few minutes we get. Gorgeous B&B.
Were we not thrown for a fucking loop with that? I was not expecting that. That looks like it's in LA or something.
And the producers were clearly thrown for a loop too. We get gorgeous slow motion panoramic shot of the banquet hall tables, the lawn, the lush green landscaping, the swings, the swimming pool.
I had to take a cold hard look at myself, Emily, because I was really expecting a shanty, and that was not very open-minded.
So was Forrest. I mean, I don't necessarily know if it has to do with open-mindedness or if it has more to do with Sheena's communication. Big question marks about Sheena right now. What's going through your head? And there has been a little hint of this earlier on. When we found out that Sheena was a veterinarian who works 6 days a week, that's a legitimate job that probably pays very well. She gives a lot of the money to her parents, apparently, but we don't know how much. Financial transparency, I hope we find out. Tell us the numbers. What percentage of her check are they getting? But it makes me think it's a lot because the place is so gorgeous.
Can we talk about the first meeting of Forrest and Sheena and the dad and the sister? Awkward. Nobody said anything.
They're silent. They are silent. It is so awkward, and they're all extremely aware of that fact. And Forrest just straight out says, "This is awkward. I'm awkward. I don't have much to say."
Invite them in, shall we? Right this way. Come look at our pool or something. Yeah, that was really awkward. But the dinner looked so yummy.
Delicious. Those fresh fruits. The dad has a mango. He has half a mango. It looks like it's still in the skin, and he's scooping it out with a spoon. The buttery soft texture that mango must have had in order to be able to scoop it with a spoon like that. My mouth is watering, Sammy. Like, please just give me a locally grown mango.
Yeah, the food looks delicious. What do we think about the dinner conversation?
I mean, again, it's not what I expected. The dad and the sister, they're nice, but they're also very inquisitive about Forrest. It seems like they don't really know much about Forrest. What has Sheena really told them about him? Forrest immediately brings up finances on his own. The fact that he brings it up and he blurts it out really shows how nervous he truly is about talking about finances with them.
And what does Sheena say? She says, "Just eat, babe. Just enjoy your meal." Like, she told him he was going to have to talk about finances, and then he does, and she's like, "Nope, just eat your food. Just stuff food in your face."
And so what does this tell us about how much she shared with her parents? She has a hard time opening up and sharing about these hard topics. And now Forrest, after 7 years on security camera, this relationship that they both invested in, Forrest is there in the flesh, meeting her family. This is the opportunity to come clean, to share the truth, to just be forthcoming about your partner. And she still is struggling to tell those truths.
It just read to me like she wants control. I know she wants him to tell her parents, but she wanted him to do it at the time she wanted, in the way she wanted. She wanted him to eat first, have a nice meal, and then get to it.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. When is the right time, though, Sheena? After dinner? Why is that better?
I was really interested to hear Forrest talk about his disability. He had been questioning his lack of a job and how he does seem so well adjusted, but it just goes to show that you never, ever know what's going on with anybody. Because he says, "I'm having a terrible time right now." And he meant he's having a hard time socializing normally, like he's having a hard time masking and interacting, but it really just came off like, "This dinner is awful and I don't like you people."
He's using that phrase to try to help Sheena's family understand his autism and how it affects his life and how it might affect his job and his career. You're so right. It was really interesting insights into what's going on with Forrest. I mean, he does share that the disability that he receives is enough for him to survive, but he doesn't think he could support a family. And he does express those desires and those aspirations to have a full-time job and support Sheena, but the sister is skeptical.
As she should be. And even the dad is like, "But you're gonna support her, right?" And he does say, he's like, "She helps us too. We need her help too." So I don't know, but they give him the blessing.
They give the blessing, which I was pretty surprised about. And I mean, that's some points in their favor, I think. This whole narrative we've had of her parents are crazy and controlling and they're going to throw her out.
Absolutely
No.
not.
Forrest is not exactly who they want him to be for their daughter, but they still give the blessing anyway because I don't know why.
Because she's 40 and unmarried, Emily. I think they just want to secure her a husband, then deal with the finances later. I don't know. Yeah, it was a little too easy to get that blessing.
We don't see Molly and Dev at all in this episode, but their shadow, their presence is looming. They are gonna crash that scene tomorrow.
I missed them. I did.
They weren't there, but I still felt their presence. And Forrest does take ownership of his opinion of Sheena's parents based on what Sheena has told him, but he does group himself with Molly. He says something along the lines of, "My mom and I were worried that you guys are scammers." And the dad's response is perfect.
Perfect scammer response. No, I'm kidding. I don't think he's a scammer. But yeah, he says there are scammers everywhere, which is very, very true.
Then he says, prove her wrong.
I got chills when he said that. I was like, yes, Dad, proved her wrong.
Okay, but can we talk about Steve and Molly meeting? How is that gonna be? He's ready to prove Molly wrong. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I don't even think Forrest said my mom and I thought this might be a scam. He started to say, well, I was kind of under, and then he just put it all on Molly. He was just like, well, my mom thought this might be a scam. So I'm like, both Forrest and Sheena are using their parents as scapegoats.
It's truly an interesting dynamic because the parents are involved heavily in each of their separate individual lives. Sheena's life is extremely wrapped up in her parents, in her family, in her culture, and Forrest's life is also so intertwined with Molly and Dev and their relationships. Part of me wants to say just remove the families and they have the potential to be something beautiful, but I just don't really think it's possible for them to cut those ties. They're so intertwined.
Cut the cord.
But do you think they can?
No. Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. For sure not with Molly. For sure not with Molly. Maybe Sheena and her family, but I don't think it has to. Honestly, I can kind of see a world where Molly and Steve become besties. He kind of reminded me of Dev a little bit. He's wise. He's kind of soft-spoken. So it's going to be one big happy family. Well, I'm hoping.
I hope so. Well, you know who's trying to make a big happy family is Stig and Aviva.
Yeah, they are. They are not using protection, and they have had sex at least 4 times now, if not more. They have been telling us the count. Thank you very much.
Apparently, they're ready to have a family, even though neither of them trust each other.
Right, or know each other. We don't know Aviva from the Walmart bag she brought the shrimp in. Like, I know more about that bag than I know about Aviva.
The big question I have from their segment is, what do you think of her asking Stig to not play Vicky?
I was going to ask you that. How dare you? I don't know. What do we think? On one hand, kind of her prerogative, but also not at all. Like, he's an artist and that's one of his most successful songs. I don't know. Where do you fall?
I just think that it's completely contradictory of what Aviva has led us to believe is her character thus far. She's really been asserting this attitude of not being jealous and saying things like she would never interfere with Stig's career, asking Stig to not play his #1 song. If that's not interfering with his career, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that's true, but I feel like it goes back to the trust and the not knowing, because if she knew this man inside and out, if she had no questions about him, if she was absolutely sure and secure in their relationship, she would have let him play the song. It's just because she was not satisfied with his answers about Vicky to begin with when she confronted him about her.
Absolutely. I mean, so Stig did explain the premise of the entire song, and, you know, Aviva does confront him, which I did find that admirable. Like, good job for her for actually confronting him and asking him straight out about the rumor that Aunt Spring told her. And he denies it. At least he gives a straight answer. It seems like we haven't gotten any straight answers from him. He denies that he went home with Vicky. I just think that you're right. She's interfering.
I feel like he absolutely sidestepped the question. Like, yeah, he said he didn't go home with her, but there were news reports. There was social media saying this. And he says, Belize is into fake news. What? What? Nope, that was a red flag for me.
Oh, really? He did get across to me what I think he was trying to communicate, which is the rumor mill, the online rumor mill. If you're a public figure in the spotlight, rumors and lies are going to be out there about you.
Do you believe that he didn't go home with Vicky?
I don't know. I don't know. In general, I don't think that Stig has ever been a one-boner. And I think that this is his first go at maybe that's not true because he had the Texas girlfriend. I think he probably tried with her too. He's trying to mesh the worlds of Stig the artist and Earl and Dwayne, and it does remind me again so much of Guillermo and Kara, especially when Aviva is at his show and she's completely triggered by what's going on, by the Dancing with the Girls. So she shuts down, she gets on her phone, and that totally pisses Stig off. But it just kind of reminds me of how Guillermo might feel seeing Kara up on stage, dancing, performing. It is just a performance. And even if you have trust, I don't know, it's still hard to watch your spouse shake their ass and have attractive people dance all around them and Stig outwardly flirting. I don't know. That's tough, even if you have trust, and especially if you're in love. And Stig was not only expecting her to be more present, he was expecting her to like the show. Mm-hmm. And I think that Kara expected the same thing out of Guillermo. She expected him to be partying and dancing like one of her fanboys. Yeah. Stig is expecting Aviva to be like one of his fangirls. No, dude.
Yeah,
no.
That's a good point, because he did say, like, everybody's hyping me up, and I expect you to, my girl should be hyping me up, and all those other girls were hyping me up, and you weren't, so.
Do not compare your long-term partner to all the other girls at your show. If you're Earl and Dwayne with her, she is not one of your Stig the Artist fangirls.
Right. No, I agree, and that's not comforting. Don't compare me to them. Don't say I need to act like them. I'm so much different.
Right.
Before the club, they're in the street. This island looks fun. The golf carts, it looks like a fun time. The street looked like festive. I wanted to go. But they get out, and first of all, the dress. Can we have a moment for this Lil Red number?
Gorgeous. She is a knockout.
Yes, she has nothing to worry about.
She's a catch, Stig. Yeah. Like, treat her well.
Right. Well, so he is apparently, because he's holding her hand in the street, Emily, and that should tell her everything she needs to know. He literally says, you can't say this isn't love because I'm holding your hand in the street showing everyone that you're my girl. Boy, come on. How many hands you hold in the streets? Come on. Not impressed. I'm going to need a bigger display of your affection. Can we talk about the show a little bit? Because I'm still underwhelmed, Emily. I'm so underwhelmed. I was underwhelmed in the studio. This wasn't even a show. He built it up to be like this, like San Pedro's this party island. We're going to this big show. It was a hookah lounge. And he was like standing up there like in a corner, and people were still like smoking shisha and chatting. Like, they're not. I was not impressed. I hope his next show is like an actual big show, because this was, that calling it a show was a lie.
And, Aviva points that out too. And to her defense, that is why, one of the reasons why she thought it was reasonable to ask him to not perform Vicky. He must do different types of shows, small shows, big shows. And so because this was a small show, maybe it would have been okay for him to not play Vicky. It's not like it's a big headliner show.
Maybe he should have given her this one little crumb. She asked you to not play this song. You could just do it for this one show. Just be like, okay, I hear you. I love you. I respect you. I will not play it this show because it is a little smaller and intimate, but the next show, I gotta play it because people be expecting it. Give her this and maybe she'll ease up a little bit, no?
I do think that would have appeased her and that would have meant something to her. But I'm sorry, my question is, why, Aviva? Why would that settle your mind? Why would that ease your nerves? To go back to Emma, have higher standards, Aviva. Yeah. Expect him to not check out a girl's ass who's bending over. You can still have a good show and you're in a small bar setting. You don't have to do that. You can still be an artist and you can still dance next to that girl and be a little bit suggestive without going as far as he did.
You think? See, I just thought it was like his persona. Stig the Artist be checking out some asses. Earl and Dwayne can keep it in his pants, but Stig the Artist needs to check them asses out. No?
And so when does that switch happen? Right. Is my question. When does Stig become Earl and Dwayne? And if they are these two different personas, why is Aviva expected to be her fully supportive self to both? Mm-hmm. He wants someone who's not jealous. Mm-hmm. He wants someone who supports his career, but then he also wants someone who will be the wife to his family man persona. I just don't know why he would get to have that division and she wouldn't.
So maybe she needs an alter ego. Maybe she needs a stage dancing, ass shaking, Aviva to Avi to dancer. I don't know, something. Because maybe I'm just saying, maybe she does need to put on a persona at the show. You feeling insecure, you're feeling belittled or dismissed or whatever. Pretend, fake it till you make it. I hate to say that, but it's maybe she needs to put on a little show of her own because she has been this whole time. We know she's not above that. She's been trying to be what he wants.
And maybe she does a little bit here at the beginning. I do have to wonder if, as time goes on, if their relationship really were going to survive and she has to go to 1 million of his concerts. Like, I'm sorry, she can't fangirl every single one of his concerts for the rest of his life. At some point, she's going to be sitting her ass down and scrolling her phone when she's at your 100th concert.
That's true. Maybe not the first concert, but maybe the 100th. Well, no, that was the question, though. Like, was it that awful what she did? First of all, the way it threw him off, are you not a professional, Stig? I'm really just doubting his professionalism and his talent. If you forget your words because some bitch is looking at her phone, sorry, Yvette, you're not a bitch. But, come on, man. You've performed this 1 million times, and this is throwing you off. Does it speak to how much he does care about her, that she could affect him that way? Or does it speak to the fact that, you're not that good of an artist? I don't know.
Here's what I think. I think he's self-centered.
Yeah.
I think that he's the artist. He's the performer. He wants all eyes, all attention on him.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think what she did was that bad, being on her phone during his show?
I think it probably was not the right move.
I love how he was throwing her shade for giving him the silent treatment on the boat, but then now he's doing the same thing, acting like a little kid. She's got to pull it out of him. He doesn't just come out and say, hey, I didn't like that you were on the phone. She's like, are you mad at me? What's going on? And he's like, just say it, dude.
That's so true. But at the same time, they're doing it to each other.
Right.
Because if Aviva is acting like everything's normal and okay after that show.
See, I thought that was okay, though. It's like she was uncomfortable. She handled it by being on her phone, and then she's going to let it go. She's going to be like, good show. You did great. Don't be hard on yourself. Let's go have sex. And I think it's fine for her to be uncomfortable and then swallow that and move on. She doesn't have to talk about it every time as long as she is able to move on.
That's true. And we'll see what happens at the next show.
God, it better be a real show, Emily. It better be a real show. We see Birkan shove Laura up against a wall to stop her interrogation of him.
Yes, Laura. Finally, what she wants. A sexy male lead. This is straight out of one of her books. He is the male lead character in one of her novels. He completely sidesteps the important conversation, but who cares?
She doesn't, that's for sure. He played that so well. The man read the room, and the man pivoted accordingly.
Right? Good move. I mean, he's not answering any of her questions about the money.
Nope. He doesn't need to. Just shove her up against a wall. And we don't see a whole lot of them, right? They come back at the very end of the episode. They circle back because we just got the wall kiss. And then he takes her to make these evil eye beads.
His reason for taking her was so heartwarming. He says that he takes her because she loves crafting. Birkan is growing on me.
Oh, I know. Damn it.
With the shove up against the wall, make out, planning an activity around what she likes. The whole plastic surgery fiasco and the way he reacted to that. His philosophy side, it's really growing on me.
He really does notice what needs to be said and done, and he does it. So, yeah, because he doesn't even like the evil eye. He doesn't believe in it. He says a lot of Turkish people believe in it because they need something to believe in, which I thought was very insightful.
That's his philosopher side right there.
And then he says, but even if I don't believe in it, I know Laura likes crafts, so I took her to do it. It was so cute. And then he's so self-deprecating about how bad he is at it.
Which is very endearing.
And he is real bad at it. Sorry, Birkan, you real bad at it.
But then Birkan just straight up says, fuck Michael.
Yeah, cut him out. And he says it's not an ultimatum because you will do this because we're in a relationship, and he's not. Ooh, okay.
He just says, you will choose me.
Okay. And then walks away? I don't know. Do you think she will, though?
I don't know. I don't know if she will. I don't hate Birkan for this. His delivery might not have been the best, but I think Laura wants to have her cake and eat it too. She wants an assertive male lead, and Birkan is trying to be that for her. And she also wants to have some sort of friendship activity buddy, as Birkan would say. on the side who there also might be romantic.
1000%.
We know that there are romantic feelings between Laura and Michael, even if they have never had a single physically intimate kiss. They have had hundreds, if not thousands, of emotionally intimate moments that could very easily lead to a physical connection. And even just the emotional intimacy, I think, is enough for Birkan to be absolutely founded in his request, put nicely. Like, he definitely should not have demanded it in the way that he did. But I don't think it's unreasonable for Birkan to not want Laura and Michael to be
right?
close.
Even an ex, you broke up for a reason. So you're not with them willingly, right? They haven't even gotten together yet, Michael and Laura. So like there is still that tension there.
It's almost worse than an ex in some ways because the tension is still building. So it's worse.
Because you haven't like been with them and gotten over them and then moved on from them. Like you haven't gotten to them yet. Yeah, no, you're right. Ugh, all right, you convinced me. It's fine. His ultimatum is fine.
But what do you think about Birkan's approach, though?
I think you're right. I think he was just trying to be like the take charge man that she wants. I think he's trying to tell her like, this is how it's going.
I don't know. I'm getting the sense that Birkan knows her. He knows what she wants, and he's trying to be that. And Laura, like I said, she's trying to have the best of both worlds. She wants an assertive, almost aggressive male lead. And with that comes these other things.
And I mean, I always say in relationships, set yourself up for success. That is not setting yourself up for success with Birkan if you have Michael in the background all the time and that there's the temptation and there's the question and there's the tension. You're not setting this relationship up for success.
You know what it tells me is that I don't think Laura is as serious about this relationship as Birkan. I think Birkan is ready to put more into it than she is. If she were truly ready to put so much in, she would maybe be okay with at least maybe not completely cutting ties with Michael, but at least changing the nature of their relationship.
Setting some boundaries, exactly. And I agree with you 1000% that Birkan is more invested in the relationship than Laura, but my question is his motives. Like, why? I don't know if it's because he has this undying, like, soulmate connection with her, or if it's because he wants to outrun his debt in America. Which, listen, if he treats her well and beds her well, fine. Whatever the motivation, fine.
And is faithful and is that amazing male lead that she needs. Laura might not be as invested as Birkan. I can't really blame her because there are still, as she says, red or maybe they're just pink flags, but there are some flags of varying shades being thrown.
So true. Yeah, like I said, just boundaries. Like even if she's not willing to cut Michael out completely, because that would be really devastating. He is, in addition to being a possible love interest, he is her best friend. He is an important part of her life. But just setting those boundaries of like, maybe we only ever hang out together, or maybe, it's in a group setting every time and we don't chat privately, or, something like that, I think, to make Birkan feel a little better. And I'll say, Emily, I've been in this situation. And the Birkan of my situation was 1000% correct, turns out. I was like, fuck you, like, that's my friend, I'm not gonna cut him out, blah, blah, blah. Turns out the friend was the asshole, and the Birkan was absolutely right, so take that for what it's worth.
Rick and Trisha are on their way to the beach.
God, that beach, can you believe
Take
it?
me to that sandbar. Take me to that sparkling turquoise water, Sammy. Come on. Amazing. So beautiful. I just love that. Again, Trisha obviously planned this. She found this location. She booked it. I don't know, dude. I'm really starting to get sick of Rick.
Sick of Rick. Sick of Rick. Sick of Rick.
Every single step he makes, 1 degree behind it, is the knowledge that he went on a week-long sex vacation with his Colombian ex-girlfriend. When is he gonna fucking tell her? I don't know. He's too busy calling her a bougie girl, saying she's acting like a sugar baby.
We need to address this because I am so riled about it. They're in the car, okay? They're driving to this beautiful location. They just happen to pass a mall, and she's like, oh, there's a shopping center. You should buy me something. Rick, did she say you should buy her a designer bag at that mall? No. Did she say you should take her on a shopping spree at that mall? No. The girl wanted a swimsuit. She wanted a bikini to look hot for your ass in that beautiful sandbar. And you can buy her a $50 squirt tarp, but you can't buy her a bikini? I am offended for her.
Spend that $50 on something else, Rick. Like, that is not cool.
Well, and to call her a sugar baby over that, like to accuse her, I feel like that was such a leap. And we do get a little insight that like that was triggering because of his past. Meh, whatever, Rick. I don't care.
Oh, because of his ex-wife, who was apparently a Nigerian K-1 visa situation.
Also a 90-day situation. This man, she didn't ask for any. Is it not normal for people in relationships to gift each other things? All the Americans be coming over with gifts and oils and lotions and jewelry and this and that. Rick came with a squirt tarp. When he arrived, he didn't bring anything, and then he refuses to buy her a single bathing suit. And I don't mean to be sexist here, because she could buy him a present too. You would buy her flowers, would you not? Like, that's part of dating, is giving gifts to your loved one. He just made such a big deal out of it. I thought her reaction was spot on, if not too
Yeah,
little.
I totally agree. I think that Rick is just constantly on the defensive.
Wonder why.
One tiny thought behind the present situation is this huge thing that he still hasn't fucking told Trisha.
Right. He can't pay for her swimsuit, but he can pay for him to go to Colombia for a week. I'm just so upset by him, Emily.
And the other reason I'm so upset by him too is just like how much I love Trisha. I just think that she's so amazing and she's just trying to give it her all. And I just feel like he's not matching her energy at all.
Yes, and I feel like she knows her worth. She's like, I don't need your money, Rick. I make money. Girl makes more money than you, tap dancer.
Right.
Okay, like, she's your sugar mama. And I know, okay, so he paid her rent once. And then he says, I will always provide what you need, but not what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm sad because eventually on the beach, she does. She just ends up saying, I only ask that you pay for what I need and not what I want. And I'm like, no, don't give in.
Next week on, Rick and Trish are talking about having kids. Javon and Annalyn are having trust issues, and Annalyn needs receipts. Laura meets BeerCon's friends, and hopefully secrets are revealed. Molly and Dev are back.
Yes, yes, yes.
And Daniel and Lisa meet the uncle.
And we shall see if she admits to practicing lesbianism. We've been waiting. I've been waiting so long for Molly to meet these parents of Sheena's. I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait. It's going to be so good. No matter how it goes, it's going to be so
good. Couple quick questions this week. We have Family and Friends edition. Sammy, are you ready?
Ooh, yeah.
We're going to talk about Sheena's family, Steve and Katrina. Are they what you expected?
No.
What did you expect?
Well, you know, I expected them to be monsters from what everyone had been saying. No, I assumed they weren't as bad as she had said, but it wasn't even that they weren't what I expected. It was, again, that their business wasn't what I expected. Their home wasn't
Their
what I
entire
expected.
situation was not what we expected.
No.
Is Forrest surprised by Sheena's family?
Oh, yes. Yes, he is floored.
Much like us. Do they support Forrest and Sheena's relationship?
I think they do for now. They did give the blessing. Yeah, I think they support the relationship. Like I said, I think they kind of just want her to get married, period. But I do think they're skeptical now that they know he doesn't make any money.
Yeah, for sure. How do you think they would feel about Sheena traveling internationally to be with Forrest in the U.S.?
I think they'll be okay with it, but I think they're skeptical of the financials.
Yeah. If you could go anywhere in this episode, where would you go?
Nosy Bay. Holy shit, that water.
Who doesn't want to go there right this moment?
Exactly. Like, meet you there. God, that looks idyllic.
My 90-day takeaway this week is sex can solve any problem. If you're arguing about money, just have sex. If you tried to have sex once, it didn't work, just have sex again. It'll solve it. If your boyfriend is dancing up on girls because he's a famous artist, just have sex.
Unprotected, preferably. Well, my 90-day takeaway is, in all seriousness, the threshold for sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship is not a bikini.
No, It's not.
I'll be paying for a lot more to earn that status.
That's it, Fiancé Freaks. If you liked this episode, be sure to match our freak by subscribing, leaving a review, and following 90 Day Fiancé Freaks on social media for more.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.